Hi, friends, and welcome to the Tuesday Buzz. I figured I would do this new episode of our second season, sitting outside enjoying the Texas Hill Country. It's a bit breezy, but it's so nice outside today. I wanted to introduce to you what our new episode is going to be about. We are so excited to see where this podcast goes. Our next season is going to be the Tuesday Buzz, but we are going to be building tables instead of sides. And we're going to be discovering what that looks like. In our last episode, what we talked about is, the last season, really, we've been interviewing people all around our community, getting to know people, getting to know other nonprofits, kind of discovering and figuring out what that looks like. So we can join hands with them, we can partner with them, we can pray for them, and we can just figure out who in this town are the mover and shakers. We've gotten to know some really awesome people, and that has just been such a cool experience. We've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I thank you for hanging around with us. Last episode, we were talking about our gala and the upcoming fundraising stuff and what that looked like. And it's kind of messy. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely one of the most memorable nights of my life, and I'll probably be talking about it for years. We had one donor stand up and donate $100,000 to our community center at our gala, and that was absolutely fantastic. It kind of blew my mind. I'll be honest. I'm really glad there was a stage behind me because I had to sit down and cry for a hot minute. It was just crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. Through the gala, we raised $139,000 total, which was just absolutely fantastic. So we're thankful for everyone who came. If you're watching this and you attended our gala, thank you so much, because the love that you have shown us, the interest that you have shown us was just absolutely crazy. Now on to our new topic. What does it mean to build a table, not a side? When you go to a restaurant or maybe Thanksgiving with your family, a table doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't look like somewhere I'd want to sit down and have an argument. A table is somewhere that is inviting. It's a space. It's a beautiful space where conversations are had, laughter, funny stories are told, games are played, meals are consumed, and it's just a good vibe all the way around. And I think when we say building tables in this world, in our community, in society as it is now, what that looks like is learning from each other. It looks like respecting one another. It looks like less arguments and more love. It looks to me like accepting people for who they are and learning from who they are, because God made us in individual ways to really affect the people around us. And I'm really excited for where this is going to go. I will be quite honest with you. I feel like one thing I'm good at is loving people, but when it comes to my husband, he's the most incredible person I know. And sometimes he likes to debate. And sometimes I don't. And so learning from him and being able to accept our differences has been one of my hardest struggles as a married woman. So we'll sit down, I'll sit down with my husband, and we're going to do an episode where we talk about married life and coming to the table and what that looks like, family life and coming to the table and what that looks like. We will interview people in our community, maybe who are in political standpoints, maybe who are religious leaders, and talk to them about what coming to the table looks like to them. I think, it looks a lot better than standing on the other side of a line and arguing and yelling at one another. So we would like to encourage you to maybe go forth and pursue just relationships over resentment, interest over arguments, understanding over fear and anxiety and anger. And those are some things that we're going to be learning. And sometimes maybe that looks like creating a third space like the community center where a community can come together and learn from one another or participate together, doing fun things, educational things, that kind of thing. Sometimes it might just look like inviting your neighbor over who mows their lawn too much or something. So we're just really excited for this upcoming season. We're excited to learn new things about our friends, learn new things about our community, learn as it is together. We're going to be documenting through this podcast, building a community center and how hard it is, our formula for success, and where our failures have been. And we're going to be talking about that real time. And it might be vulnerable. It may be very easy. It might get yucky. It might be beautiful. So stay tuned. This is just a really cool experiment. It is a year-long plan that we have. And next week, our next episode is going to be Dustin and I talking together about building tables and how we got inspired to build a table, what inspired us to do this, and why we're so crazy. People say we're crazy all the time, and I totally understand where you're coming from because I feel a little crazy most of the time. But community is important to us, friends are important to us, children are important to us, and learning to come together and be better people, it's important to us. Society is so divided right now, and it has been for years, and it's sad because families stop talking to one another over silly things, and these tables just start getting divided and divided and divided. It reminds me a lot of the picture I get when I think about it is when my great grandmother was alive. She lived with my parents, and dinners were so much fun. And it was a lot of fun because she was a very slow eater, and I was too. So a lot of times her and I got left alone at the table together because we were still eating. And it's interesting, you know, I feel like in today's society, we get so divided and we get up and we leave the table and we get up and leave the table, and then there's just one person left. One person left who is still interested, is still loving, is still taking in the food that you're giving them, is still thinking about it, but they're just left. And I feel like the best thing that we can do as a community, as a society, and as a nation is to come together and stand together, to love one another regardless of our differences, difference of opinions, skin color, all of those things that tend to divide people. And we're going to be talking about all of that in the next few episodes, the next year. We're going to be documenting this experience, this experiment, talking to people, learning from people, and just building tables instead of division. So I hope you join us on this really cool adventure, and I hope you see it as a really cool adventure. We're not naive, and we understand that this may cause some division. It might be a little weird. It might be a little shaky, but sometimes you have to go through the weird or experience the shaky moments to have breakthrough. We're also going to be talking about what it looks like to flip tables, what it looks like to use your opinions to flip tables in a holy way that make a difference. And when not to, when to sit down and when to shut up. As a woman, as a wife, and as somebody who is constantly at a level 10, learning to sit down and shut up is very difficult for me. Learning to love someone's differences has never been difficult for me. But in today's world, it is difficult sometimes. And so we're really excited, and I hope you stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, all the things so that you don't miss an episode, because it's going to get real interesting from here on out. Once again, happy Tuesday, and enjoy the future of the Tuesday Buzz, and we'll see you next week.